Okay, so what we're gonna do is we found the lean conditions is due to the injector seal. So we did change the engine on this. So I don't know what could have went wrong. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a lot of room here. We're gonna take off to get this injector rail here. We're gonna have to go underneath a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the injector coils. We're gonna take out the connectors from the coils and the injector. So we're gonna pretty much get them all off. You squeeze the tab and you pull up the connector. Same thing here with the coil packs, and some of these are siliconed in. That's fine. And okay, so we're gonna try this one. Use a pick to pick this guy, and if it doesn't come out, so we're gonna get these guys out. Just don't hurt yourself. A little bit more higher. You pull while I do this. So sometimes these connectors, they will break like these. We put silicone on them. That's fine. Go ahead, pull the connector out. There you go. Do that for all of them. And some of these got some silicone on. Even these injectors, I put silicone on because the connectors are kind of bad. So we're gonna get them all off. We're gonna pull out the rail. Got a 12 millimeter and a 12 millimeter. The right thing to do here is pull fuse or a relay for the fuel pump. Let the car run so it can drain out the pressure in the rail, but it's not a lot of pressure. I've done so many times. Once you open up, pull one of your injectors, it's gonna probably shoot out the. Just go easy on it. Use a bucket, and we're gonna do that so you guys gonna see it. So we're gonna get this job going by just taking we're gonna have everything off. We're gonna loosen up all the bolts of the valve cover here, and then we will work our way to the injectors. Okay, so we took out all the connectors. I even took out the connector from this this noise reducer here. We need to take this valve cover off, not completely off, because we can slip it right through. See this little guy they put here? It goes right underneath it. And we got a 10 millimeter bolt there. You're gonna have a 10 millimeter over here. Yeah, only one bolt over there at the end. So if you got more than one, take it off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen up all these bolts, all of these around the valve cover, and I'm gonna take off the ignition coils. Okay, so a lot of bolts, and you might have to do it by hand. Do it if you need to, but don't drop nothing in the engine block, especially the nuts over here. So all the bolts come loose all around. Plus, I'm gonna take off these injectors. I'm sorry, the coil packs. Okay, so I'm gonna take out the coils. There you go. 4 coils come out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We got 2 bolts right in the center here on this valve. So what I want to do is just loosen them, and then we will come back. There's a lot of bolts in the back. I'm going to do all those, and we will come back. So one thing I want to do here is take an air blower between the injectors, get all that dirt out of there. There you go. That looks good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take off that 12 millimeter and that 12 millimeter. We already got the valve cover loose, and let's continue this. Okay, now we're going to take out this 12 millimeter here. So I blew some air on it. So I'm going to take out this 12 millimeter. Those are only 2 bolts holding it, and then there's 1 bolt on the side, which I'm going to take off. And that's how the rail is going to come out. So this 12 millimeter. And that 12 millimeter, they're loose. I just can't get my hands in there. You guys can see everything from the top right there. Pretty easy to see. So this is 1. And this is 2. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off that one bolt on the side, then I'm gonna come back. So 10 millimeter right down here. This is holding the rail right there, the line for the rail. Check out this loop on the line. So make sure you do the same loop, because when I did the engine, we was a little confused how that loop was. Okay, and once this guy is loose, I should be able to turn it by hand. It's a 10 millimeter bolt down here. Okay, there you go. This is loose. So remember, we're able to lift this valve cover and get this guy out of there. But this thing has small little 2 little plastic pieces, like little spacers. So what I like to do is I like to grab the injector, slowly lift them. Sometimes they're stuck in there. So remember, we did the engine, so they're pretty easy. So you might have to yank it a bit. But all these lines are out, and these injectors are pretty easy to take out from right here. Take a look right here. You see this? This is the reason why we took out we released the valve cover a bit, and the whole rail just comes right out just like that. I'm gonna just twist it and make it a little straight. This is fine just like that, and there's our injectors. So these are the seals right here. These are the little seals we're gonna change on these injectors. So how they come off, you simply just turn them off. But let's take a moment, and we're gonna get a little bucket to drain out, because this has pressure inside. Come closer, guys, take a look. So what I want to do is, this injectors, they have pressure in them, and like I said, if you let the engine run, that's a good idea. So I'm gonna simply just grab the injector, cover it a bit, so the pressure can just go down into the bucket here. It's not a lot of pressure in there. There you go. So the pressure usually has a lot of pressure in it, but there it is. This is the injector seal. This one here, and then there's one down here. So we're gonna change these babies on these guys. Okay, so we took out one of the injector, so it has a seal here and a seal. We only need 2 seals. These boxes probably gonna come with 3. So here's a standard brand, and there's a part number SK97. You could buy it in a standard, or you could buy it in an intermotor. Intermotor is gonna be SK97, same part number, different brand, but they're the same thing. So you need 4 for 4 injectors. So what we have here is, like I said, it's gonna be 3 seals in here. So the 3rd seal is probably for a different brand of a vehicle, but we're gonna use the 2 that we need. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I am gonna cover up the hole right there. So first thing first, I'm gonna clean up the dirt around where the seal is gonna sit. There you go. Remember, we did the engine, we cleaned before, so ours is pretty clean. So use a vacuum, that's what we originally did. So I want to do that to that hole, and I'm using this socket to cover the internal hole so nothing goes inside. And I'm gonna do a little bit more rinse right there. Same thing here. All 4 holes gotta be clean, and one more over here. And that's it. Just a little piece of tissue with the lubricant on it. So just go around it. If you got a Q-tip, that'd be the best thing. Just go around it so you can lubricate. And plus, you're gonna clean any little single dirt and debris in there. But once you get new seals in, you're gonna be perfectly good. And that's it. Our look at the shiny hole. They're shiny, nice and good. All right, so now it's time for us to change the seals. So inside this package, we got 3 seals. So match up the seals you're gonna need. So we got this crazy looking seal. It got like a little lip to it. Just like that, it has a small little lip to it. So we're not using that. We need the flush one. One is like flat surface from both sides. This packaging is just stupid. And there's an O-ring, so we're gonna use both of those. So this is what we're gonna use. This little guy and this little guy. So let me go get my injector. So what we're gonna do is, this little seal right here, just use a pick. Even though this wasn't leaking, if this leaks, you're gonna have fuel leaking. But since it comes with the kit, we can just replace it. And this little seal is gonna give you a hard time because it's really brittle. and it's like a hard plastic now instead of a soft. You see how? So this wouldn't make a good seal. That's why it was leaking, because it turned into like a hard plastic. So definitely wasn't gonna make a good seal. There you go. That baby comes off. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go get 2 new seals. So new injector, Toyota, Scion, whatever you got. I'm not a new injector, new seal. This baby sits in there just like that. And this little guy right here. Okay, this little guy is gonna go right here. Don't stretch it, just slide it, slip it right on. Bada bing, bada boom. That baby's in. So I'm gonna do the same thing for all 4 injectors. Okay, we're not done yet. So this injector still gotta go in there. So what I like to do is a little bit to the side. I like to put a little bit of any type of lubricant will do. You don't want to put too much because you don't want it to go internally onto the fuel system. And a little bit of here and a little bit here. You could do this one at the end when you're ready to slide in, but you could do it right now. So once you have this little guy, what you want to do is make sure the surface is clean in there. So you just take this little guy and you wiggle your way in there, and it should just slip in there. If you cut that seal by any chance, sometimes it can get pinched, and then you will start to see leaks. So observe it once it's done, and you might got to go back and redo the job. But anyway, that's done. We're gonna move on to the next one. So I'm gonna take this little guy. Remember, pressure is already out. There's no more pressure in here. So I'm gonna just pull this guy out. Same thing. Let's take this off. Let's take this little guy out of here. And this little guy, look at that. Look how nasty that plastic is. It's cracked into pieces. It definitely wasn't gonna make a good seal there. And that's done. And we're all good and set there. We're just gonna walk through another set of seal here, and after that I'm not gonna show you guys. You can do the other 2 on your own. That's how you're gonna change the seal on your injectors on your Toyota or a Scion. So if you got lean conditions, most likely it's your intake gasket or this little baby, or it could be something else. So you're really gonna have to find out just by putting this on by putting your scan tool on, and this little guy just slips right on. There's no top or bottom. I don't see any difference on either side, so it's perfectly good. So a little bit more of WD-40 on my finger, tip of my finger, and a little bit there and a little bit right there. And these can fall off, so make sure you pay attention to these. So what we're gonna do here is just wiggle it on there, and that's it. Do the same thing for the rest of them, and you're good to go. Okay, I got all 4 injectors prepped onto the rail. Put a little bit of lubricant in all of them. Okay, pay attention, they don't fall down, because they can fall down as you go. So make sure right here, you see these little plastic piece right here, this little spacer and this little spacer here, make sure they both are on. So what I want to do here is I'm going to lift up the valve cover, and I'm going to get this guy in there. And once you put the valve cover back down, make sure your seal is properly in there. So here goes nothing. So remember, the loop on the rail has to be the same way. And we're going to just guide this guy right where it belongs. Pay attention to everything. And it's going to be a little tough. A little bit of challenge here, but that's just how it is. Or you could just take out the valve cover completely and just do it easily. And I don't know how I'm going to manage this, but I have to do something here. Okay, it's got to come up. It's got to go in. Pay attention to your injectors. There you go. Once this is in, we should be able to. I should have taken this thing off completely, but okay. Now it's a disaster. Okay, that's not the way. That's not the way. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take it back out. So struggling here. I'm gonna go out with the injector rail. I'm gonna come back. There you go. I guess I'm gonna have to slip these in, position them in the angle that I want, and then there you go. That's more better. So position them just straight down, facing down, not up. and make sure your seals are still on. And there you go. Make sure they go on straight. Okay, I got this side back out. There you go. Perfect. Make sure all 4 of your injectors go straight into the hole where they belong. Okay. And you're probably gonna have to play around with this a little bit. And once I have it in there, we're gonna come back and look at it. Okay, so I got all 4 injectors sitting properly and it's flush. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the bolts on, hand tight, nice and flush. Just make sure your injectors are into the blades. And once you're done, it doesn't end there. You still gotta check to see if there's any leaks, okay? Because the injectors can leak from the upper seal because you already disturbed the housing, but you got no option but to do that. This is tight, and something went wrong here. Never mind, I thought my connector was pinched in there, so pay attention to your harness. That's in. Bada bing, bada boom. Nice and tight. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna lock up everything, put everything back together, and then we're gonna fire up the car and you guys will see that. So make sure you put all the connectors, all the bolts, all the vacuum lines together, and we'll come back. Okay, we're done, and what we're gonna do is my friend inside the vehicle is gonna turn the key. We're gonna prime it. Pretty much to prime the pump, the fuel system is you're gonna turn the key to accessory, not start the car, the click before the start. It's gonna run the pump and put pressure into this rail. Do it once, twice, and 3 times. The car should start up good. If the pressure is not there, it's not gonna start up. But we did have issues with this vehicle, so let's see. Hopefully everything is good. Go ahead, prime it one time. Do it again. Turn it off. Turn it on. One more click. All right, now try to start it. Start the car. The pressure wasn't there. Start, turn it off, turn it off. We got a large leak. We got a large leak. Oof. We got a super large leak. So you gotta watch out from that leak. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look into this. Okay, so here's our issue. I took everything apart. The seal got pinched as I was speaking to you guys. So I did replace this one. You see these 2 didn't leak. I had a good feeling about this one and this one. These 2 I had a bad feeling when I was putting them on. But there's no more pressure because I already switched the seal on this one. So once that seal is done, look at this. You see that? Look at that seal. It's pinched. So I felt that as I was working on this little guy. So you see it takes a cut. We're gonna got another seal. So sometimes me and my friend, he was talking, if something is not bad, you don't touch it. Okay, so since we're buying a kit, and this was my friend's car over here, and I decided to change them all. So slowly, see these original seals, they felt even good. So if they're not leaking, don't touch them. So we got a lot of fuel in there. I'm gonna have to suck it all out with these tissues because you don't want nothing fat, you don't want nothing to go on fire. And we'll do that and we'll finish up the job and we'll check again. Okay, I redid the job and no more leaks. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna test to see if we got a good lean condition on our short trim.